Hi everyone. Okay, so this morning I had a dream about um, I was in a house and I got a knock at the door, and I opened the door, and there were police standing at my door, and there was a woman with them, and this woman had one of those muzzles so they couldn't speak. And the police officers, there was two of them, police officers look at me and they said, "Do you know this woman?" And I said, "I don't know her." And then I stopped and I said, "Well, I know someone who she was with, but I don't know her." And they said, "Okay, close the door and lock it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I did. I closed the door and I locked it. Now, before this happened, I was in a store shopping with other people, people who knew me. And I remember seeing name brand bags like Louis Vuitton and Chanel. And the people looked at me and they're like, "Why did you bring us with you? Just to watch you shop?" And I was like, "No, because I thought it'd be a great time for us to spend together." And they're like, "Yeah." And then I ended up at the house, and this woman I was being asked if this woman was known by me. And I was like, "No." So God is turning those away who don't belong to Him. He's closing the door. Anyone who is lukewarm, He's spitting them out, saying, "I don't know you." And it's funny because it took a sister, Diane Neves, yesterday making a post about the wilderness and about certain things that God had told her she would have to go through when she arrived at her wilderness. And then it turned out that those things were not what she needed to go through. And as she was talking, I started thinking about my walk. And I started thinking about how I know I'm not in the wilderness anymore. I am now in the land of milk and honey. But it doesn't look like I thought it would. It, nothing is easy, or I shouldn't say nothing is easy. There are still things that I need to finish or resolve before entering into my promised land. And with that said, what does that mean? What that means is there are certain things that made me, that Father had me be aware of. For example, the fact that I had to be in my car when the individual that I'm expected to meet with comes to find me. Well, yes and no. When he finds me, I will still be having things in my car because I won't have a permanent residence. But I will be, staying in a place where I can host him, where he can be a visitor and come and see me. And can go out on dates and things like that. And I didn't understand that that's what I was, that is what God was trying to get me to do over the course of the last two different stays I was in. Even though, yes, I am still doing work for the kingdom, He still wants me to prepare for the promised land, for my husband. And it is an interesting path because now I understand a little bit more. And he gave me even more revelation, because now he's not giving me, he it's not that he was giving me more than I could use for, or that I was planning for more than one day, but in the past, when I stayed in a hotel, it was usually a couple nights. God has now changed it to where I now am completely dependent on him every day, every single day. Not 2 days or 3 days at a time, and then I do 2 days and 3 days up in my car. He's literally, since yesterday, taking care of each day. And the reason he had me borrow money is because that is part of my walk. That is, those who are willing to help me now will get to receive the blessings when I receive the blessings. And time is speeding up